Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and I talked yesterday about Nintendo's new patent about them having a patent for summoning mechanics in video games now, which I just think is insane. PC Gamer has a very insightful post right now about somebody that is a video game IP lawyer calling the patent an embarrassing failure of the US patent system, and he noted a lot of the things that I said in yesterday's video, and this guy's obviously way more qualified to speak on this topic than I am, but my main point in yesterday's video, yes, I am upset at what Nintendo is trying to do, but at some point you have to stop being upset at Nintendo, in my opinion. Like, they're gonna do what they view is the best course of action for them to do as a business, and ultimately, I can't do anything about that. However, in this case, you do have somebody approving these patents, and that is my main issue. So, again, in the PC Gamer article, according to video game patent lawyer Kirk Sigmund, the US PTO granting Nintendo these latest patents isn't just a moment of questionable legal theory, it's an indictment of American patent law. Broadly, I don't disagree with many online complaints about these Nintendo patents, said Sigmund, whose opinions do not represent those of his firm and clients. They have been an embarrassing failure of the US patent system. The 387 patent granted this week, Sigmund told PC Gamer, got a bit of a pushback, but barely, after its initial application was deemed invalid due to similarities to existing Tencent and Xbox-related patents. Nintendo amended its claims based on interviews with the US PTO, which then determined that the claims were allowable. And again, this is what I said in yesterday's video. What is the actual process of how this is handled? Because we know they've been trying to get this patent approved for quite a while, so it's literally a process of, okay, we come to the table with what we want to patent, we get declined on it, let's adjust it a little bit, and you keep doing that. I don't know how many times they went through that process, maybe it's just once, but what's stopping you from continually amending it? And again, when it comes to the approval process and the people doing these approval, they're human at the end of the day. They can be feeling a certain type of way on a certain day, and you might just catch them at the right time, at the right moment, for whatever reason, and they decide to let it slide. Are these people playing video games? Let's be honest with ourselves. The people that are approving these patents, are they well versed in video games? Are they familiar with summoning mechanics in video games? Probably not. So my question is this: how are these people approving these patents? Where is the transparency in that, in how these patents are getting approved? And I don't know if Joe Schmo on YouTube is entitled to that level of transparency, but when it can have consequential ripple effects for the future of gaming, I feel like we should have a level of transparency. But the reality is, me saying that this patent is going to have consequential ripple effects, or potentially, I should say potentially having consequential ripple effects to the future of gaming, I am aware about that. Ask yourself, do you think the patent approval people, whoever they are, these people that exist and nobody knows who they are, at least I don't know who they are, do you think they are aware of Nintendo getting this patent across? They've approved so many video game related patents. Some of them probably are worthwhile to approve, some of them aren't, but do you think they're really well versed in all of the nuance and mechanics? Hell, do you think they're even aware of what Pal World is and what Pal World is doing at Nintendo and Pal World and that saga? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Nobody knows because we have very, very little transparency. Sigmund noted that parent case had an even weirder and much less useful prosecution history. This seems like a situation where the USPTO essentially gave up and just allowed the case, assuming the claims were narrow or specific enough to be new without evaluating them too closely. I strongly disagree with this result. In my view, these claims were in no way allowable. Again, these are things that I didn't want to believe. Like, I illustrated that point in yesterday's video. I almost was like, yo, there's no way this is what could be happening, that Nintendo just tries it at some point. You try so much that somebody just gives in and it's just like, all right, buddy, like, just here's your patent, leave us alone. Here's the fries in the bags, go on your merry way with your McDonald's and leave us alone. And Nintendo got their fries in the bag, and now they have the patent approved. But that's the only rational conclusion that I can come up with, because I have to assume, again, the people in charge are they into video games? Are they not? Are they aware of what Nintendo's doing? Are they aware of what Pocket Pair is doing? We live in this bubble, and I have to remember whenever I make content that it's important to step outside of the bubble. I don't think that's just real in gaming. I think in every facet of life, when you're just so obsessed with the bubble, you think everybody is aware. Do you think Joe Schmo walking down the street, if I just go up to him and ask him about the Nintendo versus Pal World Pocket Pair lawsuit, that they're gonna— no, they're not. Most people are not gonna know. Yes, in our bubble, we know, but most people are not. That applies to the people approving the patents and everything like that. I just assume that they— like, that sounds insane to me. It sounds insane to me because if you're in the process of approving these patents that, again, can have consequential ripple effects to the future of gaming, you would think they would be somewhat aware of the— at least somewhat, at least have some sort of knowledge, but based on the fact that this got approved, I have to think that they don't have much awareness of what's going on. Like the above case, the reasons for allowance don't give us even a hint of why it was allowed. The examiner just paraphrases the claims after block quoting them without explaining why the claims are allowed over the prior art. This is extremely unusual and raises a large number of red flags. Now, there are people throwing out theories of, you know, some financial agreements being involved and Nintendo paying their way for this. Again, we have no clarity, and I think a lot of that, you can assume that, but a lot of what I was saying yesterday was baseless claims that could be viewed as conjecture. Like, I was just assuming that to be the case, that, okay, this dude clearly doesn't know about video games, he's just approving it, and Nintendo just amended it and went back and forth. That was just total speculation on my part, but that was the most realistic speculation that I could have, in the sense of, you know, this sounds plausible. This sounds like what happens. The dude doesn't know anything about video games or doesn't know much. Nintendo probably came back one extra time, a couple times. I don't know how many times it was amended. And eventually, you just get sick and tired of it, and you're like, bro, just leave me alone. At some point, anybody working a job, they hate the— I don't know if this dude likes their job. They might hate their job. They're like, all right, dude, just leave me alone. Here's the fries in the bag. Leave me alone. And that's just what I'm assuming happened. But what other assumption can I really make? And yeah, some of it's funny. Maybe the dude likes his job, but clearly, this is a patent that I feel like shouldn't have gone through. Also noted, pragmatically speaking, though, it's not impossible to be sued for patent infringement, even when a claim infringement argument is weak, and bad patents like this cast a massive shadow on the industry, and that's a big problem. There is no actual ground rule as far as what we can do. Remember, Nintendo has this patent. Are they going to utilize the patent on most games? I would assume no. I would like to think no, but you don't want to develop multi-million-dollar projects with the assumption Nintendo's not going to come after you. No, you don't want to play by the rule of an assumption, because that could backfire very, very quickly. But like, that's what they have to do now. That's what— if you want to design a game that potentially utilizes this patent or utilizes aspects of this patent, you kind of just have to go with the assumption. You have to have a conversation with Nintendo. Not everybody's gonna have an open dialogue of communication with Nintendo. It just opens the wormhole for this to be an absolute crap show, an absolute disaster. And I'll leave a link to PC Gamer in the description box below. Check out the entire article, because it does offer a lot of insight, again, from somebody that is much smarter than me. But you know what? Your boy just did some like somewhat intelligent speculation that Nintendo probably finessed their way into getting this patent, and it seems like that's potentially what happened. But if that is how you can get a patent approved, first of all, this sets a horrible precedent for gaming and getting patents approved in the future. If you can just badger them and then get patents approved, which begs the question, you know, why hasn't this happened more in the past? Maybe Nintendo, being as big of a behemoth as they are, have very very high-level people working on patents and the wording. I don't know. Again, the level of transparency that we have is minuscule, if not non-existent. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.